This week on the Bluffs Sports Zone, horror show. The Falcons fly into the sub-state final on fire. And then, football, baby. A sneak preview of the 2017 Iowa Western REIVERs. Kicking in with some soccer. The men and women both have a score to settle. Killing time with the volleyball team. REIVER Fever is almost here. Hello, I'm JJ Davis, and welcome to our latest edition of the Bluff Sports Zone. Well, the 2016-17 high school sports season is over. It ended in Harlan, just as it has so many times before. And like so many times before, it was heartbreaking, just gut-wrenching. St. Albert hit town for the fourth time in the last 5 years. And of course, the Falcons hoping to exorcise those demons and win one for a change. Now, these birds flock together with a good mix, some steady seniors and some solid underclassmen. So I'm thinking, could this be the year? Here we go again. Falcons fans flock to Harlan for another crack at a sub-state final. Top of the second inning. Ground ball to first, and it gets by. Runners on the corners. Darian Burnison then pokes one to right. Deshaun Carr comes in, and the Cougars are on the board. Bottom of the inning, Brandon Behrens nails a base hit for the Birds. Now the senior steals second and then gets picked off. Top of the third, Mitchell Williamson just takes a Brandon Williams pitch and sends it deep. A solo shot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2-0 Cam. St. Albert commits 4 errors here in the fourth. And Colby Nelson just keeps on running. 3-0 Cougars. The Falcons out-hit Cam 9-5. And Garrett Rice, here, one of his 3, doubles off the fence in the fourth. Later scores, and the Birds trail 4-1 in the sixth. Behrens with a base hit. St. Albert scores twice to cut the lead to 1. Tying run at third. The Falcons strike out 9 times. Rally cap time, bottom of the 7th inning. Luke Ronstadt, a leadoff walk. Danny Cook then just beats out an infield hit. 2 outs later. A double steal, and everybody's safe. 2 on, 2 out, 3-0 count to Eli Finn. The Cougars are off to state for the first time in school history with a 4-3 heart-stopping win.
It's a heartbreaker. Not much to say. I mean, that just gave that one away. Congratulations to them. They made the plays, and they're going on. So back to drawing board.
For you, 4 times in 5 years on this field, how bad does this hurt?
Absolutely. Man, it hurts like hell. I wouldn't wish on anybody this pain. My teammates, I thank them for everything I do. They're my best friends, and I'll never forget playing with them.
It's not the field, it's how we play. We didn't come ready to play. We didn't play hard. That has nothing to do with the field or our teammates. I mean, it was us. We didn't execute, we didn't play hard enough, and we didn't hit the ball. Congrats to Cam. They played a good game. They did what they had to do. They came up in big innings. We just didn't get it done.
This team has a lot of heart. They got a lot of good kids. I feel bad for them. Seniors in their last game, it's heartbreaking, man. They're a real good bunch of kids. They worked hard, and unfortunately, it has to end. But
St. Albert falls 1 game short again. 6 seniors played their last game. And that's, as they say, all she wrote. The 2016-17 high school sports season is over. From Thomas Jefferson's big upset over Lewis Central in football, to yet another run to the Dome for the St. Albert Falcons, to the AL boys and their continued dominance in basketball, And of course, to the Lewis Central girls soccer team, their second straight state title. And of course, I could go on and on. So many memories. And for that, I tip my hat and say thank you. What's the word from the Iowa Western women's soccer team? Repeat performance? But up next, I got a fever. REIVER fever. Football, baby. When we come back.
We asked a group of employees what makes our bank special, and here is what they said.
We're available to help our community grow.
We are available to explain the benefits of electronic banking.
Being available to our customers and communities is not only what ties us together, but also what you want most from your financial institution. And our new name says just that. Welcome to Avela Bank.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill Meyer Woodring Family-Owned Funeral Home, serving Council Bluffs in Southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
I still remember this moment like it was yesterday. There's nothing like winning a national championship. Unless you've lived it, you just don't know. But that was 5 years ago, and I want that feeling again. And so do the REIVERs. I mean, especially after last year. 6-6. 6-6. Are you kidding me? That just won't cut it. And 2017, well, it's time to recapture the glory that is Iowa Western football. Now, here's a sneak preview before all heck breaks loose. Last time we saw the REIVERs, the O was putting on an air show. Now about 180 or so are set to file in August 1st. 11 guys returned that saw significant playing time in 2016. 6 on offense and 5 on the D side.
It's more than we've had probably since 2012. I mean, shoot, last year I think we had 1 on each side. The year before we had none on one side and 1 on the other, so we have a little bit more experience. I think the big thing is just getting the guys to gel, you know, and to get our culture back to where it was.
You better be ready to go.
We're trying to now get back to guys that will buy into the program a little bit, and our program guys. And, you know, maybe we take a little bit less talented kid, but the culture's there and the team's there. You know, the camaraderie's there, and I think that's where we lacked. And I really challenged the staff to really do our evals, not so much ability-wise, we can all see that, but trying to get as much information we can from that previous coach or the high school coach or the college coach or people that worked with them, you know, just to see if it's a fit.
Who's right, Robert, on 101, ready?
Kurt Walding's been a good fit. The redshirt freshman quarterback from DM Dowling showed promise in the spring game. Number 13 ran for 1, and threw for another.
I think Kurt's a guy that, has to experience some success, and he can be really, really, really good, and trying to gradually get into that. So, he comes from a program that won, the culture there, the kids in the program respect him, and I think that's a good place to start. Now it's just putting athletes around him that make him successful.
Down, go!
I felt coming in, even after spring, that I thought we had as good of offensive line as we've ever had. We brought a right tackle in, a big right tackle, so we might have two of the top tackles in the country recruited, just 6'8", 6'9", over 300 pounds. Our center is returning Chancellor House, who's a good football player.
6'4" Anthony Turner looked good in the spring. 5 other receivers are already here, and they look
really good. Now it's just getting them to understand the system. Athletically, they're as good around the board. I think, in the past we've had 2, 3 guys that, there's a drastic difference between 1, 2, 3, 4. If these guys figure it out, we got a chance to be really special. Mackay started in the spring and had a really good spring, and we knew he, through his redshirt year, he's talented, he's got some ability. But then, T-Boy White and Marquise Hallback both played last year. I think we addressed some needs in in recruiting as well, that we got a couple kids that can come in and play. We lose our entire secondary, and we don't have a lot of guys that were in the program, so that's going to be fairly new. Linebacker-wise, we get Colton Dinsdale back. Nick Anderson played a lot. We brought in 2 transfers at mid-year that through spring ball had really good springs. And then we got a couple good high school kids coming in. And D-line, we got a couple talented freshmen coming in. And then it's probably our most experienced group as far as guys that played. You never want to have one of those seasons, and you never want to have one of those happen, but it might have been good too. We, from a standpoint of, we're not just, we have to look at ourselves as well, and what can we change and do as a staff. And I think it really challenged myself, and you do things the same way for so long, you have so much success, and you kind of get caught in the rut, and hopefully that changes.
Congratulations.
We'll begin to find out August 26th. The Reivers kick off a new season. Now, Iowa Western looking to get back to being Iowa Western.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Amen to that. Now, what's the schedule look like? Well, very first game, great. Number 1, it's on the road. And number 2, it's into the gauntlet known as the Jayhawk Conference, and against a team Coach Stroh tells me is loaded. Try at Independence, and then the first home game the following week against perennial pain in the neck, Hutch. In all, the Reivers, 5 at Lewis Central High School and 6 away from home. I say, bring it on, baby. How about that killing machine all the way to the finals last year? And this time around, pitch perfect. On the pitch, it seems, each and every year. Big Blue Soccer after the break.
For more than a quarter century, thousands of Southwest Iowa athletes have relied on this team, Jenny Ed Sports Med. Their sole focus is to prevent, diagnose, and treat your sports injury. They even partner with the surgeons at Ortho West, ensuring you get your own exclusive roadmap back to action. Methodist Jenny Ed Sports Med invites all Southwest Iowa athletes to its free walk-in clinic, open every Saturday morning, August through October. Jenny Ed Sports Med.
Council Bluffs is a growing, vibrant community. It's becoming a modern 21st century community.
We will be the largest free Wi-Fi hotspot in the United States.
Our vision is about building a community where families want to live and businesses want to locate.
We see that as a great potential enhancement for future growth in the city.
I didn't like the way it ended last year. National tournament, second match, penalty kicks. The Iowa Western men's soccer team comes up on the losing end. But then again, when you think about it, so what? I mean, we've been so spoiled by the Jordan Carver magic that the REIVERs are going to lose every now and then. I mean, the bar has been set that high. So, what about this year? Well, the J-Man is out of town, but he did give his blessing to the new guy, the rookie, to step in his place. It's a program that has scored 9 conference titles. The Iowa Western men's soccer team won its 4th straight regional championship in 2016. Now, around 25 guys fill the roster this season, with a dozen or so super sophomores.
Extremely confident because of the guys that we have coming in. We recruited quality talent, and those guys are going to be difference makers for us. Leandro Avila, Panama under 20 national team player, coming back sophomore year. We expect him to be even better than he was last year. Kwesi Allen from Trinidad and Tobago, he's coming back. One of our top goal scorers last season. I guess the culture all around, obviously we want them to have, respect for everybody and work hard, whether it's in the classroom, on the field. That's the biggest thing, is making sure they're doing the right things. Obviously, I heard that Iowa Western was this, prestigious powerhouse, which it is. On the inside, I think it's extremely professional, and I can see why everybody's so successful around here, and the attitude and the way that coaches push their athletes to be better every day is a positive thing that, it's definitely a reason why Iowa Western's on the map.
And the men's soccer team has followed directions. The REIVERs are framing up a 5th straight trip to nationals. It's a ride well worth it, and a journey that's become all too familiar. And it begins in Laramie, Wyoming on September 2nd. First home match, September 16th against Iowa Lakes, followed by Trinidad State. Now, what we know from the schedule so far, 7 home matches, 6 on the road. Expecting big things from the Carver corner of the world, but then again, so what else is new? And then there's the ladies, ready to kick in with another good season. But then again, so what else is new? I mean, it's status quo here in REIVERs country. The big show, Florida or else. The REIVERs ready to get back to nationals, and this time on the attack, win some matches.
Goes over, count it!
7 sophomores return. All 7 pitched in a lot on the pitch in 2016.
We're excited about the ones that are returning. They're huge for us. They're going to be the core to really guide us and keep our culture going.
A growing culture with 28 players on the roster, including 7 internationals.
One of the returners is Daniela Cardona out of Colombia. Fantastic leader, fantastic individual. She does everything right on the field. She does everything right off the field. So she's going to be a great example, someone that the new players can look to. Last year, I thought we did an excellent job of bringing out our style of play, which is keeping possession of the ball, knocking the ball around, but also doing it with a purpose, attacking, and then being organized defensively and being proactive in transition. This next year, our focus is going to be a little bit more on our defensive midfield shape, where we can improve there. But as far as our attacking game, we scored goals. We scored the right amount of goals for us to be successful. But I think at the end of the season, we conceded a little bit too many. So that's going to be our focus going into this next year. One of the biggest lessons I learned last year, and I kind of already knew it, but the biggest lesson was our culture wins games. Our culture beats other teams' strategy. So that was our focus all throughout the year. That's going to be our focus next year, is building that good team culture, that big team chemistry. Can we get the girls fighting for one another and loving one another more than any other team? And having the bullseye on our back is what we want. We want other teams to look up to us and try to strive to be like us. We feel that we set the standard, and so it's our job and our responsibility to live up to that standard.
It's a standard that includes a national championship. It's an expectation that's expected each and every season. And 2017, new year, same old story.
Can it be that I hear what he's saying?
You can read the first chapter August 22nd. The Butler comes to Reivers country, and after that, on the road down to Texas for some toughening up before returning home to jump into Lakes and then the usual with Otero. In all, Iowa Western 8 home matches, 9 away from Council Bluffs. Up next, our play of the week, a crazy play at Harlan from yet another crazy game. How about one step further for the REIVER volleyball team? On the other side.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Yes, sir. Quite a run in Casper, Wyoming last year. One to remember. Now, can Big Blue do it again? We will soon find out. And you know, so many things have to happen to win a national championship. Any coach will tell you. First, of course, you got to have the culture, and then the talent, and then how about being a little bit lucky? That's quite a formula. So what's it going to be for the Iowa Western volleyball team? Is it back to the drawing board or what? National semifinals last year.
Look out! Iowa Western is going to the NJCAA championship game.
The Reivers make it to the finals. Now Big Blue looks to take that final step in 2017 with 16 players, including 5 sophomores and 3 internationals.
Every other year, we either are the, quote, veteran team or the, quote, young team. So this year, we're the, quote, young team with a bunch of new faces and a lot of people that need to make impacts right away. I think defensively, it's probably the best defensive class I've brought in. So I think it's going to be, the backcourt's going to be up for grabs, which is great. I've never had super strong defense. We've always been really offensive teams, so this will be new for us. Caitlin Cooper is coming back. She's going to be great. She's going to be our go-to again this year, which is nice. It's nice because we got to score points, and if it's on the outside, it doesn't matter. Just throw it up in the air for her and let her go get it. So that's nice. She'll be big impact for us, and then also Emmy Pua defensively. I mean, just making that first contact. Arina Alexeva, I hope I'm saying her name right. She's a Russian. She's big, she's flashy, she's gonna jump high, hit hard. I think she's gonna work Caitlin really well.
I think that we can step up if we can get 2 wins.
I think I've started to learn that relationships really matter. And it's not about you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right. It's about how do I get the best out of you? What do you need from me? And I think that especially last year, I changed a lot in that regard of, you know, Caitlin Cooper is really good, but how do I make her better? And it's not by yelling at her, it's not by, you know, it's not by doing the things that some coaches think might help. You know, what I think might help me might not help Caitlin. So I think just evolving in the sense that you have to think like an 18-year-old, think like a 19-year-old, and what do they need, and I have to give that to them. This is a whole new season, we start fresh, every year we want a championship, so I don't think our past should really reflect our future. I think that if we think too much about what happened last year and try to do the same things we did last year, we're actually gonna hurt ourselves. I think we need to figure out our strengths with this team. How can this team be successful, and we're always shooting for the championship.
Over and in the net, and they're mobbing the court.
Iowa Western falls one match short of the championship in 2016. It ended quite a run. Another race set to begin, and look for the Reivers to once again finish strong. It all starts with the annual REIVER Classic, Eastern Wyoming, and then the big dogs from Western Nebraska, and so on. Now the Reivers will be killing it in Canesville 14 times. Big Blue gets out of town for 18 more. It's almost time for the fun to begin once again. Now it's time for our Play of the Week. And you know, you don't see this every day, and I know I haven't. How many times have you seen this before? Sub-state final, St. Albert in a dogfight with Cam. 7th inning, gets by on a 3rd strike, coming home. And he's out of there. The Falcons make a big play at a crucial time. Play at home, our Play of the Week. Okie dokie, so there you have it. The end of a season and a season on the brink. Just a sneak preview of what's ahead. And what's next? Football, baby. The annual football preview show slated for Tuesday, August 22nd. Now yours truly will be working on it from now till then. So get ready to record with whatever you record on these days. Tuesday night, August 22nd. Now remember, as always, to keep it here for more news and information in your community by tuning in to the Council Bluffs News with Brandon Taverdi. And so for this latest edition of the Bluff Sports Zone, I'm JJ Davis, and as always, football, baby. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.